Genius, where are we going?
Let's show you.
Where are we going?
We are going to Port Royal, guys.
Welcome to EKKA Media.
Hey guys, big up yourself, this is your dude EKKI Media one more time. Welcome to my channel, guys, and bless up yourself. And today we're going for a trip with my crazy crew. 3 musketeers. We got me with Latoya, Darling, Genius family vlog all the way in Kingston, yo. So guys, we're in Genius Diamond Vlog territory, yo. Yeah, we're in her tough, guys. We are at the masses of this lady back here.
Go away, bro, go away.
Latoya can't even breathe. Yeah. That's what I keep talking about, white tea. It's link up more than money, guys. Yeah. Connection. Connection vibe, guys. Here's where we going.
A few moments later.
Hold on. Just talk. You can see you.
Oh no.
Where are we going?
We are going to Port Royal, guys. Yeah, we are going to Port Royal, okay? When we reach over there, we'll let you guys see what. Una come from Jamaica, Una no Port Royal. Yeah. Alright.
Alright, look at the mountains and the views right here. These guys have a lot of content.
Yeah, but that's just content, detail, because when I reach out of them places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of content. They can create a lot of content here.
Yeah.
You can have Genius go climb out the mountain and just create content there on the hills. You know? Genius, I'm telling you, I went through mountain like this to get to Latoya now. I climbed the mountain like this, Genius. Tell you. What kind of wood? Exactly. And the thing about it, exactly. You know, my friend? And if me are somebody to talk about me, you have to look in your hands because sometimes it's a thing for you. Sometimes you never see me that way.
understand? And then the other thing now, when it easy now, it's as if them have say, yo, you get that man. Wait till them can continue. But what happened to you now and lynch you and them? You see?
Yeah, we got a lot of him. So it goes like that. Go up, up, up. I feel like that one. Then you go down. A river.
Right here, there's a flow mill.
What is that factory, Genius? What is that? Oh, power plant?
No. Big flow mill right there.
Huh?
The flow mill right there.
Okay. Oh, that one?
Oh, yeah, mix flow one. What's right
Port Royal neighborhood.
here?
Yes, sir. Down in there, sir.
Genius.
Down in there, sir.
Yeah, one there, sir. Near to the sea, so you can put all your foot in the water. And you see what people have the fish themselves and them stuff there. It's a fire brigade. What name brigade? Brigade? Brigade.
No man, genius, man.
Whoa, everybody. Brigade. Brigade.
Brigade.
Brigade. No, sir.
High street.
What did she say, Latin? Genius got a heavy tongue.
You can park. Over here, sir, you have an next door here, over here, sir, you know.
We put around when we turn the car.
No, man, over here, sir. Get a
One
parking
over here,
spot.
sir.
Yeah.
This is yellow lines, no?
Yeah, over here, this. Whatever. Yeah, white line.
That's white line. Can you go for, there's a white line.
Body line, sir.
No, no, we over here, sir. Yeah, man, down.
This is a white
I
line.
can park right here. It's a white line, nobody knows it. I put it in that one, so.
No, let me ask you, no, we can over here, sir.
I reckon over here.
I reckon over here, sir.
You don't take chances, eh? Don't?
No, I reckon over here. So we can come over Port Royal, go take a view there, them down with you.
They got doves.
Eh?
Them doves. The dog is trying to catch the dove.
Come in a Port Royal.
Well, okay. Kingston International Airport.
When I look up in the UK.
What's genius? That's aeroplane. Genius calling that. What are you calling that? Helicopter, genius? That's an aeroplane, genius. Genius, that's an aeroplane. Did she say it? Helicopter. Genius is calling an aeroplane a small helicopter. No, sir. So we're gonna go for a drive to a spot called Port Royal in Kingston, Jamaica. Port Royal in Kingston, Jamaica. Some people recommended that it's a must place. We gotta go and check it out. And right now we're on our way to go and look at this spot. What is so famous for? What is so popular about this place, man? And upon doing my research, man, I was so amazed because of what I found out. It has a lot of beautiful history, a lot of wonderful history. You guys might want to check it out if you ever visit Jamaica, if you love history. And so, guys, let's go without further ado. Go ahead. If it's your first time, subscribe to this channel. You can go below the comments section, let me know. So let's talk about Port Royal. Why is it so famous? Why is it so popular? Apparently, according to history, Port Royal used to be hailed in the 17th century as Sodom. They used to hail it. It was popularly known as the century Sodom of those days in the 17th century, until divine intervention destroyed it. Like the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, until divine intervention destroyed it. And how did that happen? Port Royal used to be called the wickedest city on earth, a den of pirates, prostitutes, and slavers, unlike any the world has ever known. When it was destroyed in 1692, most chalked it up to divine wrath. In other words, most people believe it was because of God's anger upon the city, because that's what they're saying. It used to be considered one of the wickedest city on the earth because of all immorality, prostitution, piracy, slaves, and everything else. I don't know if our Las Vegas is that level yet, but most people believed it was the wrath of God that came upon this city. Now, on June 7, 1692, Port Royal, Jamaica, the pirate haven that have been hailed means like praise, the wickedest city on earth, was engulfed in a tidal wave. It was like engulfed by like serious storm tidal wave. It was a city so overrun with liquor, slavery, and prostitution that one in every four building was either a bar or a brothel. But on that fateful June day, the very earth beneath the sin city began to shake. The brothels were collapsed, and a great tidal wave rose up over the city walls. You tell me what you tell me, but I think that was Jehovah's intervention. Just all of a sudden, this tidal wave and the city starts sinking, the foundation being shaken. Now, thousands died and their bodies polluted the water. But in the eyes of many around the world, the destruction of Port Royal was not tragedy. It was nothing short of divine retribution. The hand of God coming down to smite a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. The pirates, prostitutes, everybody destroyed, because in those days it was a place of sin. They say Henry Morgan used to lead the pirates of Port Royal into a naval against the Spanish fleet, as drawn by Alexandre Olivia in 1678. There was also a battle that went on at Port Royal. Now,
I'm sure there was
a peninsula on the very tip of an 18-mile-long sandbar known as the Palisadoes, 15 miles from the center of Kingston, Jamaica, hadn't always been a refuge for revelry and rebellion. From 1494 to 1655, it was nothing more than a minor Spanish port, largely undeveloped because the Spanish didn't see much gain in keeping hold of it. The English took control of the city in 1655, and realizing that the port was surrounded by a Spanish fleet, invited a coalition of pirates and privateers to protect the port. In the name of King of England, the buccaneers harassed and stole from the Spanish ships to their liking, and the port became a refuge for those making their living by the sword on the high seas.
So these were
This is
like
a lot of
soldiers
beautiful
quarters
history,
here?
y'all. So, Port Royal had become a literal port of call that had protected some of the biggest names from the age of piracy, including Captain Morgan. You all know Captain Morgan, Aunt Bonnie, Mary Reed, Salico Jack, and Blackbeard himself, all them pirates. So, and this is where pirate captain Henry Morgan used to taunt the Spanish prisoners as
So these are
drawn
the
by
ruins
Howard
like
in
from
1888.
1700s.
Indeed,
I don't know if these
from
houses
then
is
on, the Port Royal became the British in name alone. In truth, the land belonged to the pirates. And that was the
You're gonna
birth
fight
of
with
pirates
snakes,
of the
huh?
Caribbean. In the glory days of the pirate city, Port Royal had developed
Oh,
into
that's too close to the
second
beach.
largest English city in
Yeah,
the world.
grass
Watch
here.
out. It had turned into the second
Yeah,
largest English city
it's like
in the
open
world.
space down here.
And that is behind Boston. But by 1692, Port Royal had also become the most corrupt. The city was overrun with brothels,
If we leave,
taverns,
gonna come this way, we
drinking
got
halls, and
clap
filled with
for it to
slavers
come.
and pirates alike. It was a
I'm
common
saying,
sight in
if we
Port
leave, we gotta
Royal's
come here.
heyday
Try to get
to
like
see a
the
drunken
bigger.
pirate stumbling through the city streets,
Yeah.
supported by a girl at each arm.
You say,
His pocket
why
would
you
be
speak
overflowing with
vegan? I
plundered
can't
gold.
understand you. I
It's
can't
said
understand
that in
Jesus
a
in
single
this.
night, some pirates would
She
spend
sound
more
different.
money on
It's not
drinks
like how
and
she sound on
women than on
live stream.
plantation worker
Eh?
and in a year.
You just sound like different language.
Cruel and crazy.
Yeah. Like this lady
Pirate
is
Captain
like,
Henry
I couldn't
Morgan
understand
became
what
the
they were saying.
lieutenant governor
You're
of the
sounding like
city
some
and
African
himself was
language, eh? Remember?
dissatisfied with the chaos
Yeah.
of the port.
What kind of
He
patois
tried to
was
crack
that?
down on
Yeah, it was
pirateering, but
patois they were
his
speaking,
effort
but they
proved
can't, even
useless.
Lassie couldn't figure
He
it out.
died some 4 years before the Great Tidal
No,
Wave.
sir.
The city trademark
Jesus.
drink
This
was
country, if I
Kill
stay
Devil
here, I'm gonna
Rum.
be so skinny like Lassie.
That's a very
I'm
interesting.
gonna
The
lose weight.
city's trademark drink was Kill Devil
Oh my
Rum.
God.
That's what them say. Pirates would carry the flagons
What
down
if
the
white
street,
people,
forcing
white
them
people
into the
come here?
hands they passed by.
White people?
It was much a curse as a gift, as the drink was so strong that it had killed thousands through alcohol poisoning. No man. With the drink burning in their bellies, the pirates became deadly. Alexandra Levier, an expert on piracy in the Americas, wrote of one Port Royal pirate, Roche Brasiliano. When he was drunk, he would roam town like a madman. The first person he came across, he would chop off his arm or leg without anyone daring to intervene. Some of them he tied or spitted on wooden stakes and roasted them alive between two fires like killing a pig. No man. Ooh, that was insane time to live. When Port Royal was hit by a disaster so horrible, those who witnessed it could only have described it as divine wrath. A 7.5 magnitude hit the city just before noon on June 7, 1692. It was a Sabbath. A watch discovered in 1969 showed that it had been stopped at 11:43 a.m. The hours of Port Royal, in a folly straight out of the gospel, had been built on sand, and when earthquake hit, it liquefied what little supported them, and whole building, roads, and people were sucked straight into the ground as the people panicked. A great tidal wave crashed through the docks and over the city walls and consequently brought down what still stood. Even Captain Morgan, who had been buried on the peninsula, was pulled out of his grave and dragged out into the sea. 33 acres of this city disappeared in a few hours. 4 hours of five fort the British built had been crashed. 2,000 people, one-fifth of the population of Port Royal, was wiped out in a single day. It wasn't over in the days to follow as the bodies of the dead rotted under the sun and were devoured by animals and insects as they polluted the city streets. Disease spread through the city. Within few weeks, another 3,000 died. Just like that, the population of one of the largest and most ruckus city on earth had been cut in half. Now, the destruction of Port Royal in most parts of the world was seen as nothing short of divine wrath. To have a city so full of wickedness and evil be sucked into the water seemed to most like something straight out of the Old Testament, and the orgy of looting and violence that followed seemed like hard proof that these people deserved what God had given them. One survivor wrote that as soon as the earthquake had ended, the town went mad. Immediately upon cessation of the extremity and the earthquake, your heart would harbor to hear of the depredations, robberies, and violence that were in the instant committed upon the place by the vilest and the basest of the people. No man could call anything his own, for they that were the strongest and most wickedest seized what they pleased. The vengeance against Port Royal did end with the earthquake, the tidal wave, and the looting. Just a few years later, in 1703, the city became engulfed in flames. A series of hurricanes in 1712, 1722, 1726, and 1744 further devastated the city, and by that time the English had decided to move their Caribbean port of commerce to Kingston. Port Royal had been all but deserted. The last wrath finally came in 1951 when Hurricane Charlie destroyed what was little left of old Port Royal. Today, Port Royal is a small coastal village and bears no resemblance to the city of sin it once had been. But the 17th century Sodom has been revitalized by archaeological efforts on behalf of nautical archaeology program at Texas A&M University and the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. The excavation of the late 80s and early 90s yielded the largest collection of situ artifacts, and much of the remains underwater today as a real-life Atlantis. It was designated a UNESCO Heritage Site in 1999 and is often considered the Pompeii of the sea. Locals therefore hope that a revitalization of the ruins will inspire ecotourism and increase in the small city revenue, perhaps restoring it to the wealth glory it once knew in the 17th century. But hopefully this time with less crime. So bless up yourself, guys. Let me know. You can go dig more about these Port Royal history. You can go check more as we continue to go around. Enjoy the views, enjoy the sceneries. Yo, bless up yourself. Don't forget, click a like, subscribe, and share. Yo, big up. Yeah, and this is part two. Yo, part two. We're gonna tell you more something about Port Royal, man. So just after the Port Royal, went to this other spot, like where they have a lot of fishermen, fishing boats, and everything. Our host Genius was like highly recommended we go to check it out, guys. So if you're ever in Kingston, Jamaica, and you're into fishing, stuff like that, you're into waters going in the deep sea, you want to go check out at Port Royal, a fishing port across the bay from Kingston. You can literally see it from Kingston, the other side. Has always had the sleepy reputation it does now. Once a former pirate haven, every fourth building was either a bar or a brothel, and it served as a inspiration for the Pirates of the Caribbean film. Port Royal is now one of the most historically important sites in Jamaica and should be on every visitor's itinerary, right? So you want to go check out, as you can see, this beautiful view right here. These are all fishermen's boat. You know, you can go for, I think they offer tours. You can go in there, you can go fishing with them. There's a lot of boats here for fishing. Like these guys, man, it's insane. For me, I can't go. I don't know, man. I can't. But if you like getting to explore deep into the sea, this kind of boats, and you're a risk taker, you're daring to go, you can go in there and just check it out, okay? So Port Royal doesn't receive as much attention, by the way, because I didn't even know about it, because until somebody said in the live stream, I never even knew about anything about it. So when people say, EK, you gotta go check it out, so I decided to go. Genius was like, yeah, I'm gonna take you guys. And one thing you will notice when you go there, there's when you go to Port Royal, they have a fee. They charge for entrance. They charge a fee for entrance, and I wasn't prepared to go in because I thought it's gonna be like a free expedition or something. But just like Kenya Fort Jesus, you have to pay a fee to get in. So yeah, so if you like stuff like that, you like to explore, you like to go into go fishing and stuff like that, this is definitely a place you can go, okay? So they have these fishing guys here, fishing boats. I think they normally offer services, if I'm not wrong. I can't remember. But as you can see, the beautiful sea, the beautiful scenery, man. It's amazing how the sea looks so calm and yet very dangerous. So you can go make a plan, put it in your itinerary to go there, check it out, you can go catch yourself some fish, So bless up yourself, guys. Enjoy the scenery, and don't forget, as always, click the like, subscribe, share the video, and we will see you in the next one.